Alright, so I'm gonna start with the layout. So my plan with this is to make it kind of click patterns, but it's also like gonna be flowy and fat patterns, but there's also gonna be timings in it. So we're just gonna start off with the late orb, into 2 fast clicks. I want this to feel kind of sticky, like you stick to the blocks. So we're gonna add also those J blocks, just to make sure that when you jump up, you don't accidentally jump again. And that's what the J blocks prevent. So I'm just gonna repeat the flowy thing all the way through. And the reason we're doing floating structures is because for the decoration. I'll tell you once the layout's done, and I'll show you. Alright, I keep forgetting that you have to click that fast. Here's the decoration part. Basically, I'm just going to overlay the structures with glow and regular blocks. Later, I'm going to add a grid pattern to them probably, and different, just blocks to make it more visually appealing. But right now, I barely have any time left to decorate, so what I'm just going to do is do the bare minimum right now, and then I'll make it really nice looking tomorrow. But yeah. So today I'm going to be focusing on just getting the overall design of the level done, add the glow, the blending screen, the saw blades, just really everything we need. And then later, like tomorrow, I'm just going to go in and change and just like fill out everything in the level and make it just fill the design in. So right here I'm making the foreground, and this is just going to be like some curved line polygon thing that just is going to overlay the object, and it's going to look really cool. These other objects that I'm editing right now with the glow, the pink and the gray stuff, that's just to make it pop more and give it movement, because yeah, we're going to make them move later. It'll be cool. We're going to add some yellow in here because yellow and pink work really well together. That's just a fact, and yeah, it's just going to look cool. And just scale them up differently. Probably gonna do that later. Just gotta perfect it later on, not right now. Right now is just coming up with a good design, but I like it. Later we're gonna probably change the colors up a bit, but like I said, first we gotta try the blending screen, because it's just a blending screen. It makes the colors pop more. Also, we've just placed a pulse trigger, which makes the foreground pulse white just for a bit, and it syncs with the song. We're also going to add some glow behind the orbs to make them more, just give it more pop, more cool stuff, you know. It's going to look cool, trust me. Alright, so now it's time to make these objects move, because it'll just look better. So we're just going to copy and paste a bunch of move triggers that go up and down, and now those objects are just going to move up, down, up, down. Here's the blending screen, and this, as I said earlier, makes the objects pop, like the colors pop more. We want to make it locked to player X and just change the colors up a bit, make the opacity smaller, really just anything to make it look good. Also put it on the top layer, on top of everything, because then it'll make everything pop. Time for the saw blade. So always put a saw blade inside of another saw blade, but make the first saw blade one of these round ones, and make the second one of these spiky ones, and put on top of it. Trust me, it works every time. It just looks amazing. Don't forget to link them so it's easier to later on for the scale. And yeah. So the final day today, I want to work on the background first, because that's really important, build these large pillars, mix yellow and pink because that works really well. And I feel like there's just not enough yellow in the level yet, so this will probably like balance it out more. Create some pulses, and we're gonna pulse the pink part yellow for a bit. It'll just add more yellow because yellow's a really cool color. And now we gotta make it move with the player, obviously. And these are gonna go all the way across the whole level. Okay, so now we're gonna make it move up and down just to make it varied up more. You know, gotta make it look. These triggers that I'm selecting right now, I'm gonna make it move down. I just forgot to do that. Alright, so now I think now would be a good time to work on the start of the level because the back of it, like to the far left, is really bland. So I'm gonna create another bit of this foreground, separate it from this piece by using a bit of lighter glow. And this is gonna be black. I'm just using this so I can see it a little better. And you see that fog effect really just helps it differentiate it and separate the two pieces of foreground. So here we just want to make it look kind of like everything else. Just fit it into the start of the level by filling in the whole back area of it. And this thing I'm making right now, the big box, is going to be behind it so you can't see the background when you start the level. You can't see it really well now, but in the showcase it'll make a lot more difference. Alright, just going to finish this up and then I'm going to move on to finishing up the decoration, or probably arrows. Yeah, I'll do arrows next. Alright, so now on to the arrow. The arrows are going to be really fancy. Each of these 4 pieces is going to pulse yellows. It's going to look really neat. It's going to be an effect to pull off. I think I know how to do it. It's pretty easy, so we just have 4 color triggers with the group on it, make one yellow and the rest of them pink, and then keeping that up in a pattern, and just copy and paste them all the way across. And I'll show you what that looks like in a second with it working. Obviously, you won't be able to see it now very well just because it's time-lapse, but that's fine. Alright, so now I'll just copy and paste down. As you can see, it works. See that one, I guess, or whatever. But now I'm just gonna start working on this little sign here. It's basically just gonna have the name of the level. It's just gonna be a fun little detail, I think. I'm gonna stick it there and probably add some blend glow to it later, and some black glow behind it to just make it stand out from the rest of the level. Alright, so here I'm just gonna continue working on the actual level, like the blocks. So here I'm just gonna copy the foreground and change it up a bit just to fit the object. All of those other objects just lay on there and it looks really good. Okay, we're gonna do this with the other one. I think for these next 3 objects, since they're smaller, I'm gonna try to link them up using the foreground thing. They won't be linked objects, they'll just be linked through the foreground, so it'll look really cool and fill up a ton of space, and that's good. So here we have it, and I think this looks pretty good. Now I just gotta finish up those 3 objects right here, obviously adding the glow under them to make them kind of fade upwards, which is good, like fade into existence. We're gonna add some saws up there to fill the space and to make it so that you can't fall out of the world, because that's not good. Alright, so this glow behind it is just gonna differentiate it from the background and stuff, and I'm just gonna continue to add all this throughout. These grids are to add something in the blocks. And I'm adding the glow here to differentiate it from the background again. Alright, these blades, nice, which is kind of spamming them, but it's not too much. Got it cool. Alright, here's the blend glow I'm adding. Alright, so time to make like the transition into the next part. We're not gonna build the next part, but just the transition. So this black screen is gonna fade in really quick, and it's just gonna cover everything else. We also gotta like make everything else around there invisible, just to make sure that everything, that nothing overlaps the black screen, just to be really safe about it. Alright, so now I'm gonna set up this effect where all those blocks that are here are just gonna be pink blocks, and they're gonna move and fall down as you touch them while the Luschia screen is playing. It's just gonna look really cool and sync to the song, kind of. So here's the move triggers, and we're also going to set up the other things on the right there. Okay, And now that we've done that, I think it's almost ready. We just have to write the Luschia lettering. I think we're gonna do wavy, kind of circular letters, and that looks pretty cool. So Luchsia. We're gonna add some glow under it, just to make it kind of fade upwards, because that's kind of something I've been doing with this level throughout the whole video. And I think that's ready. So yeah, enjoy the part right now.